What is up, everybody? We are finally back. I've gone 2 straight weeks without doing the weekly breakdown show. I'm sorry to everyone that let down, but we're finally back this week. We got Corrie on the show. We're going to break down the entire UFC Abu Dhabi card from the prelims all the way to the main event. Corrie, how you feeling about this card?
I'm actually feeling pretty good about this one. I mean, I did great in Azerbaijan. I did great in the Middle East last year too, so can't complain. I'm very excited for Abu Dhabi.
Let's go. Yeah, I think there's some sneaky props on this card, honestly.
I agree.
We're going to talk through all of them. Let's get and dive right into it. I'm going to pull up the first fight of the night, Marcus Bucha versus Martin Budai. I don't know what to do with this one. I was looking at a couple props here. What do you think? What do you think on this fight?
So this one, I was looking at this, and I'm huge on UFC debutantes when they're coming in later in their career. Like Marcus is 35 years old, but he's a world-class grappler. He's been grappling with people like Gordon Ryan. Like he is great. But now this will be his UFC debut, so this is very exciting for him. And Martin Budai, while he is good, he's more of just like a big bully. Like his best quality is the fact that he's physical and can just bully you around the cage. If Martin wins, I would say that it's by like a boring decision, like just held up against the fence, taking minutes. But I really like Bucha in this matchup. I really, really do.
The most expensive prop on the entire fight is Marcus by submission. It's minus,
isn't it like minus 105?
Yeah.
So I was seeing that, but when you kind of take a step back and look at it, I think it was Martin Budai. Wow, Jesus. It's like 100% takedown defense or whatever it says, but that's only counting the 4 takedowns that were ever attempted against him. And one of them really shouldn't have been counted as a takedown, if we're being quite frank here. And they weren't by people that were Marcus's level. So it makes sense why that's so steep. But this is a little sneaky. He did have that ground and pound win over, like TKO win 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Got him to the ground, just bullied him that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was, the KO prop for Marcus was plus 650. So the difference between those two lines is insane. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Martin Budai's really never fought nobody. I mean, he fought Andre Arlovski on the way out. That was last year in June. And that was a split decision, which is not what you want to see against an agent Arlovski. I kind of would look at the sub prop here, but it's at minus 105. I don't know if I can do it at like a heavyweight fight. I truthfully don't think I can get there on it. So this might be a rare fight that I just skip on altogether.
This is one that I'm really kind of heavy on Bucha by sub, and I hate that it's minus 105. That is so upsetting. But it's just one of those, when you look at it, I think that him coming in for his debut, if there is going to be like a robbery that just kind of gets handed, if they want to try to build up this world-class guy, they might just give it to him, because Martin Budai's only path is a boring decision. But I think that if he is up against the cage, I think Bucha will be able to just get the takedown after that point, kind of create some distance, shoot for the leg, and then take him. Because from the top position, he's literally just going to smother him.
No. Yeah, I mean, Budai's actually never been subbed, and he has 3 submissions himself somehow. So that's what makes it interesting. But we won't spend too much time on this one. Let's move on to the next fight. What do you think about this fight right here at 145?
In all honesty, I'm not impressed by either of these guys, and I haven't really been, because Stephen Wen was on the Contender Series like 3 times, if I remember correctly. And then Yaya lost his debut to Trevor Peek. Like, there's really such little room here.
Such downhill too.
Exactly. Like, this is one of those fights that I'm actually looking to pass, but I did kind of take a peek at the spread here on Yaya, because in all honesty, both of these guys are low level, in my opinion, just based off of what we've seen from them, watching the tape, like their career histories. It's pretty rough, but the spread for Yaya is plus 105. And this is something that I wouldn't hate to take to go to distance at plus 140, because neither one has a lot of power.
Yeah, Yaya has what? He's 7 knockouts though. 7 knockouts, been knocked out twice, 57% of his wins, but he hasn't had one since 2021. And then Stephen Wen, on the other hand, 4 knockout wins, 1 knockout loss. Has 3 submission wins, never been submitted. What's the over-under on this? I'm assuming it's a 2.5 line favorite to the over.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was placed there. But in all honesty, like if this is gonna go to decision, and if it's even close, like I feel like they'll throw it out to the hometown guy, which would be Yaya, and then it's Abu Dhabi. You cannot trust those judges.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, what's his name? We'll get into that in a little bit. Carlos Leal's on this card. That's one of my favorite plays of the night.
Oh, Carlos Leal.
Yeah.
Yeah, the over and under is placed at 1.5 on DraftKings, but the
1.5
is minus 210.
How's that possible? It's really 1.5.
Yeah, they placed it at 1.5.
How does that make any sense? The over is heavily juiced. Yeah, I mean, Hard Rock now is pretty cool because they put out like over 1.5 and over 2.5 on every fight now. And
really?
Yeah, it's just an alternative line, and then the odds just reflect each number the proper way. But it's literally 1.5 and 2.5 line pretty much on every fight now. Let me see if on FanDuel or any of these other sites. So, because that sounds weird. Yeah, I see 2.5 on FanDuel. That's weird on DraftKings. So I see over 2.5 at minus 108 on FanDuel.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Might just
yeah,
be
this is one of those fights. Yeah, I was looking at DraftKings, but this is one of those fights that I really wanted to see some takedown props posted for because Trevor Peek took Yaya down like 3 times. And if Trevor Peek is taking you down, then I would absolutely put money on Stephen Wynn to take down.
People get printed on the takedowns. I see it all over Twitter and everywhere. Never really got into them that much, but there's crazy value on them, it seems like.
Those are my favorite drunk prop bets. Every single time, like out the bar Thursday nights, it's always a takedown that hits. Yeah. Chong Ho Lee over half a takedown cash. Like last weekend, those are like, I could be cold as ice and hit a random takedown.
Yeah.
Wild.
It's always the takedowns that you never expect that are like over half a takedown plus 240 or something.
Exactly.
And a person gets it. Oh, I've passed that. All right. Ibo Aslan, you think he gets this one done? I'm seeing a lot of love for him this week, or do you think it's what's the odds? Why can't I see it? Hold on. What's the odds? Can you read that?
You got Aslan at minus 290 and then Billy at plus 215.
There you go. All right, Aslan at minus 290. You think he gets it done as a favorite?
That's so I'm still kind of out on this. I think this is better as like a good live betting spot. Solely because he's all power and just no technique, but I can't play Aslan at minus 290. That's an insane price tag on him. Like he has 14 wins, all of them were by knockout, 12 of which were in the first round. But then we've seen Billy kind of take some shots and stuff like that. But
14 KOs to 0, winning by knockout 14 times and never being put away is crazy no matter where you're fighting at.
It's insane, but like watching the tape back on this specific fight, one point that I really wanted to make is that because he's just a power puncher, he tends to load up when he's trying to throw these really, really big shots. And that just opens up for the opportunity for somebody to level change on him. And when you look at like Billy, he actually has really good level changes, which is why I think this fight would actually be I think it's a little closer than what the odds are suggesting. Yeah. Like Ion Kutalaba level changed on him 3 times in a round on Aslan. And Billy has really good level changes. Aslan leaves himself open to them. So that's one of those ones I would be looking to live bet this spot, if anything.
And Billy does have 1 submission. That was back in 2021.
Yeah.
Some random organization. I kind of think this is a sneaky over spot here. Neither guy's been put away by knockout before. Let's see what the number is.
I was kind of eyeballing to start round 2, and that was minus 180. So what's the over?
Over 1.5 is minus 105. That's like I don't know if that's the alternative or the regular. Because I'm looking at Hard Rock. Let me see on FanDuel. But I kind of like that over 1.5 number. It's pretty much almost even money.
I do too, because I think Billy can survive a round of damage from Aslan because, I mean, he lost his UFC debut to Guskov, who's fighting later on the card. And that's always a weird vibe I feel like we've seen this year when you have somebody on the undercard on the same exact night as somebody who has put them away before. He made it out of the first round with Guskov, and that was on super short notice. And I honestly think that Guskov is better than Aslan. So I think that with a full camp, Billy can survive the round. The first one. For
sure. Yeah, I'm going to lean over 1.5 here. It's almost even money on FanDuel and Hard Rock. Final answer. All right, this is a tricky one. Amanda Hebas versus Tabitha Richi. Tabitha Richi, I've been so hit or miss on. Like, Sometimes she looks so good. Sometimes she just looks a little outclassed. I like her. I like her well-roundedness. She don't have much power, but she's pretty well-rounded. But sometimes she just can't get takedowns when she's up against higher level competition. Amanda Hebas, I think, should be the favorite here, but I think this is going to be a split decision one way or the other is my prediction. So what do you think?
Yeah, I gotta ride with Hebas at -110. Like, I just think that I think both of these ladies are super well-rounded. I think they are good everywhere, but they do have minor holes that they can both exploit. But they have similar backgrounds when I was looking into it. Like, they had the same kind of fighting foundations while they were growing up. They were training the same kind of fighting styles. And they fight very similarly when you look at the tape. That said, sometimes Amanda ends up chasing subs and ends up on bottom, which can be a little bit risky. But she wasn't afraid to risk that with Mackenzie Dern. And did she get armbarred? Yes.
Yeah.
But it's Mackenzie Dern, and
Yeah.
she lost to the top, like you were just saying. I totally agree. She lost to Macy Barber. Can't really blame her for that. That was peak Macy Barber. She lost to Thug Rose. Okay, she's still killing it. She's Thug Rose, and then was subbed by Mackenzie Dern. Everyone's subbed by Mackenzie Dern.
Yeah, Mackenzie looks really good in that fight.
Yeah,
I was at the Hard Rock for that fight, and I was chasing. I ended up sprinkling on the KO because I thought it was such a good payout, and I thought she'd get the ground and pound, and she literally had a chance at it. And then she just, I was like, "Fuck!" But Mackenzie looked really good in that fight. I think this is definitely a level down in competition for Amanda now, up against Tabitha Richi. But Richi does get a little bit better. It feels like every fight. She's just like a gym rat. She's so in shape, always in the gym. She's not the most talented in the world, but she just gets better every fight. But I actually think this is also a step down for Tabitha Richi, fighting Jan in her last fight. She did beat Angela Hill in a unanimous decision, which to me is kind of aged well and is impressive. I kind of want to take a dog by decision shot here, truthfully. I
would say, why not? Because Amanda by decision is what? -160, -110. Oh, -110.
Yeah.
And I think because both of these ladies are good on the mat, I think Richi's best path to victory would just be to lay on her like she typically does and to kind of just get the control time. But with Amanda's 80, I think it's an 85% takedown defense. I don't think that either of these ladies are going to rush to get to the ground where they're both really strong and have that path there.
Yeah.
But Richi also hasn't really been fighting super big grapplers. So it's a little bit iffy, but I think that the biggest point that stood out to me and why, because I totally agree with the decision as a lot of the prelim women's MMA fights are going to go.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I noticed when we were looking at the stats, as the fight goes on and we get into the second round, third round, Amanda's striking volume, it rises every round. So for instance, every single round she's throwing more and landing more. Whereas Richi's on the absolute opposite side. She's absorbing more and her defense drops every single round. So that's why I lean Amanda decision, just solely because of that point, because they're really even outside of strength of resume.
Richi by KO, that would be a crazy call.
What's that?
You got to see what that pays now, just out of curiosity.
You got to let me know.
So honestly, I get so screwed on the women's MMA fights. On this, last week, I had the decision and 2 minutes left in the 15-minute fight. Fucking knockout. That knee to deliver was nuts, though.
Oh, boy.
I would literally been in 30-27 if that didn't happen. It was perfect read and then good night. But yeah, at the end of the day, if I get Amanda Hebas at -105 by decision or Richi plus 200 by decision, I'm going Richi at 2-1 on the decision. I think it's much closer to, if it goes to the cards, I think it's literally 50-50 here, and I'd rather take the 2-1 value. Maybe I'll look at that one for the cycle. Probably not, but it's definitely an option here.
That's fair. We'll stay on opposite sides for that one, but I totally see it. I definitely can see her path here.
For sure. All right. This one, the Mom Blackshear, everyone knows. This is the guy that either makes me a fortune or costs me a fortune consistently. I had a $10,000 bet straight up on him back in the day. I'm blanking now on the name. The heavy-handed guy in the division.
I'm blanking now, too.
He got knocked out in 10 seconds.
Your reaction video to that was...
Come on, chat. Chat knows who it is. Tell us in the chat who it is. Who did Damon get knocked out to? I should know this in my head if it was so painful. Montel Jackson, thank you. Yeah, who I think is like a dark horse in this division now, by the way. But
Agreed.
anyways, I still got love for Damon Blackshear. I did hit $100,000 cycle parlay with him as leg number 2. He scared the shit out of me in that cycle because he was almost got TK'd in the first round, comes back, rallies, gets the submission in round 2. And now I'm looking at this fight, and actually Austin, our OG that used to be on the show, actually texted me the other day, and he said an interesting stat. Here, let me pull this up. He said that Blackshear has submitted everyone on his UFC record that was subbed by someone else at a previous point. David Grant has 3 of his 6 UFC losses by sub. But I don't know what it is. I don't think he's going to get a sub. I think he's going to strike with him way too much here. I think he could maybe win a decision. And it's 2-1 on the sub. It just feels like we're reaching at this point for him to get a submission here. And Davey Grant is not easy. Like, I feel like if he gets him down and is in good position, then he can get it. But he's a guy that's going to stick and move around a lot on the feet. And I think it's going to be hard for him to just get that sub. I think if he doesn't get it early, I think it's going to be very hard for him to get it. I was actually looking at Damon Blackshear by decision here. It's the same number, plus 200. I'm not really sold on either side in this fight. I think Davey Grant's kind of underrated in a way. But he's 14-7, but I think he's better than that record overall. So this is a tough fight for me. I definitely am not taking Damon Blackshear on the money line at minus 340. I think that's way too expensive. So where do you stand here?
So you saying Damon Blackshear by decision is actually feeding into my delusion a little bit, which is pain for me because I really want to believe in the Blackshear by sub. And right now I am still on that line. That said, I just think that Davey Grant is so hard to put away on the feet. He's so hard to hit on the feet. It's a bloodbath every time, and that always looks bad. Whereas, like, I think Davey Grant 3 years ago, I think this is a much closer fight. Excuse me. I don't know if old man Davey Grant can survive Damon Blackshear on the mat. Like, Blackshear is younger. He's a lot slicker. And he can hold his own on the ground. Like, his striking has slowly gotten better, which I think is necessary because, like, his striking defense can absolutely cook him, which is kind of bad. But with just his skill and technique on the mat, I think I'm still leaning Blackshear by sub. Yeah. But I can't blame you for playing the decision if you think that Davey can just keep this up. Because if Damon gets on him and he just keeps standing or it gets out, okay.
Yeah, I'm struggling with this one. I don't like Damon. I feel like in his head, I feel like he feels he's more of a striker than a grappler. Like, the last few fights that I've just watched it, I'm like, bro, just go to the grappling. And he just loves the strike. And he has a nice little 72-inch reach. Yeah. He's got good size for bantamweight. He's explosive, but it's just levels. Like, we saw that in the Montel Jackson fight. And then if he strikes with him for 15 straight minutes, he's probably going to lose a decision. But if he can mix it in, I think he can win a decision. So I'm struggling with this one a lot, truthfully. We'll see when I get there, and I want to watch more tape on this one, but it probably won't end up in the cycle. If it does, I think I'm leaning towards Damon by decision over the submission prop. I just don't want to feel like I'm chasing a sub that the value's not even there. Like, give me plus 350 on it, and then I'm more eager to take it. But, like, 2-1 here is just crazy.
That's what always, like, freaks me out about at least the Blackshear subs or any subs in general. Some people have, like, very specific subs that you can always count on them to get. Like, you'll look at the topology and down the line it's just gilly, rear naked, like, and so forth. He has all different kinds. So, like, that 2-1 makes sense, unfortunately.
Right.
But, I mean, if we really want to get down to it, if we think that Damon Blackshear decides to just keep it up, keep it on the feet, because his striking has gotten better and he has been actively trying to throw more in his fights and still mix it up, of course. But like,
he's not a bad striker at all.
No, and we've seen him change stylistically and get better over time across like the last year, 2 years, which is great for us to see. That said, if he keeps it up, what if Davey Grant outpoints him? Like, sure. I can't blame anybody for taking Grant by decision, especially with how bloody and gritty his fights typically go. Yeah. I'm on Blackshear sub, but I can't blame anybody for that.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Davey Grant by decision is plus 425, and like that's the best way to play Davey, I think.
I think so too.
If you're going to play him, because I don't think he's going to stone Damon Blackshear the way that Montel Jackson did.
Agreed.
It would have to be more of an accumulation of damage, but I think decision makes sense here. This is interesting. A lot of people in the chat think Blackshear by KO. Plus 550 is not crazy though, because there's also that ground and pound upside too. So like that's also an angle to look at because decisions 2-1, submissions 2-1. Everyone's gonna be on those two, and then the KO is just sitting there at plus 550. So that's at least something to look at. I know it sounds a little crazy.
It sounds crazy, but Davy Grant is getting long in the tooth. I mean, we've
39 years old.
Over again.
When's he been KO'd last?
He hasn't ever been, and that's why I'm not on that side.
Yeah.
But he's getting old, and we've father time comes for us all.
I mean, if Adrian Yanez and Chito Vera can't put your lights out on the feet, it's like, do we expect Damon Blackshear to? But the ground and pound, I think, was the only opportunity there.
Yeah, and Blackshear's not scared of going for the ground and pound whatsoever. Like, he'll just try to get it done however he can. He wants to keep rising, and I think we'll definitely just be seeing violence from both sides in this.
And Davy Grant hasn't been subbed since 2018. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah, like I'm telling you, I'm talking myself into this 2-1 decision for Blackshear here, but we'll see. All right. This, to me, is the most cut and dry fight of the night, which means it'll probably lose. But Carlos Leal versus Muslim Salakov. Let's give some background and context here. Carlos Leal literally had the worst robbery in UFC history, in my opinion. I know there's been so many of them, and you can argue where it ranks. I think it was the worst because I was literally on the other side. Or no, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was on the other side. And I was pissed that I won. That's how bad it was. Like, I literally won money on being on the other side. It was Fakardinov, right?
Yeah, you ever like feel guilty when that happens though? Like that, I was on Rob.
In all seriousness, usually I'm like, all right, I was owed that because it's happened to me so many times. This exact situation, I literally was like, this is ridiculous that he lost that fight. Like, it was that bad. I thought he won every round and he lost the fight. And it was in Abu Dhabi, correct? It was in Abu Dhabi. And now here he finds himself back here in the same spot. And Carlos Leal by knockout is minus 125. Like, I'm ready to fucking throw 5 units on it. I'm sorry. Like, if it's a trap, it's a trap. But I'm ready to hammer it because I think this guy's insane power. He has motivation to finish a fight because he does not want it to go to the scorecards. And I'm ready to absolutely hammer it. So maybe it's not a trap. And Jake just put up the scorecards. So every media member, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16 media scored it for Leal. And a lot of them,
oh my God,
it was 30-27, like half of them, over half of them.
That's so Hain.
What was the actual scorecards, Jake, on the fight? What was it, 29-28? He lost, I assume.
Good Lord.
I don't remember, but it's been a while. But long story short, this guy, you go watch the tape, he throws everything with intention. He's powerful. He's got great striking. He's probably been roided up once or twice in his career, for being honest.
Yeah, he's huge.
He's a monster. So I don't understand minus 125. I guess if we look at Salakov's durability here, let's just take a peek.
I feel like he's losing the durability, and I think
he's been KO'd twice. But the question is, Randy Brown put his lights out just last year in round 1, and then the Leech put him out in 2022. So like you nailed it. It's like on the back end of his career, he's starting to get put away. If it goes to the scorecards, I'll be shocked. That's all I'm going to say. I think Carlos is going to knock him out probably round 2. What do you think?
I actually am on the round 1 for a couple of reasons. But like when I'm looking at this fight, for the most part in recent years, every single fighter that has gone up against Salakov, who was younger, has won. Carlos fits that mold. And like Salakov is good, but he's just so low volume. And I mean, everyone's like, oh, he's on a 2-fight win streak. But one of those was a split decision that he won over Ponzinibbio, who just got put out by D-Rod. And D-Rod, for whatever reason, is back. I'm actually shocked about that. I am now a late career D-Rod believer. I'm done fading him. I've learned my lesson.
I knew something deep down in my stomach because, like, I had D-Rod round 3 in his last fight. Like, I was a D-Rod believer. I was like D-Rod round 3 against Santiago Ponzinibbio, and then I big play on D-Rod. I just thought Kevin Holland would be too much for him, but Kevin Holland does Kevin Holland shit all the time. We should have known better.
Kevin Holland was spamming flying knees vertically. That was the dumbest shit ever.
And then he sticked around the whole fight, and he still almost finished it. That's the crazy part. By the way, guys, this money line odds are wrong. Carlos is about a 5-1 favorite, just so you guys know. But you can get the KO prop at about -125, -130, which is kind of where I'm looking to place some money on. What about you, Corey?
Yeah, so I'm looking at the round one at +225 because I think like if Salakov wins this fight, I think it's just because he's spamming kicks like he usually does. But that's really all he has. I think if it goes to the scorecards, he gets outpointed. Like that's just a given right now at his age. He's on the back end of his career. But you know what you need to spin and throw your kicks? You need room. And Carlos isn't going to give him the room. And Carlos is a little bit more durable. He has a little bit better cardio. And he's a lot more physical. And with the 11 wins by knockout, like I just see an early knockout so much. And you were saying like, okay, he was robbed before. He's not going to let this go to the scorecards. Yes. But another reason why he is going to be fighting, I think, extra hard and coming out extra, like with more pressure and with more volume, even more so now. And this is super niche. And if you're familiar with me in any capacity, you know, I believe in narratives till the day I die when it comes to betting and things like that. And most of the time when I follow a narrative, it doesn't do me wrong, which is great. He just got engaged like a month ago, or he just proposed to his fiance. And the last fighter that just proposed to their now fiance, whatever, who just got engaged was Surrey City, Sidey, however you say, whatever.
Yeah.
And he won. Like weddings are expensive. He is fighting for the win money. He is fighting for that performance bonus. And he's just going to pressure Salakov to get it. And I really like it early. I think most of his knockouts were really early anyway. So weddings aren't cheap. Carlos Leal by wedding to pay for. Round one knockout is at +225.
Yeah, I like round 1 too here. I think if it gets to the third, it's just going to go the distance at that point. But I think early, most of his KOs come in round 1 too.
Exactly.
All right, let's move on to the main card. Before we do, guys, I'm going to put a link in the description or in the chat. Go check out the Home of Fight Picks, guys. Hey Jive and Nolan have been absolutely printing for 3 years straight now. If you use code Abu Dhabi on the Winnable website, you can basically get this weekend completely free. Just put that in the chat. I'm going to feature it right now. Winnable.com/HOF picks. Use code Abu Dhabi. This weekend will cost you $0. You just have to sign up and use that code at checkout. Let's move on to the main card here. My favorite fight of the night. I cannot wait to see how this fight goes down. Truthfully, my second favorite fight because I'm actually hyped for this main event. But I fucking love this matchup so much. And I'm hesitant to talk about this right now because I'm going to screw myself so bad because there is some crazy action on BetMGM right now. I'm just going to do it. I don't really care.
What's the action?
You have no idea what I'm about to say here.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, we know what Bryce Mitchell likes to do in fights. He likes to wrestle and put his neck out there. We saw in the Gene Silva fight. Nurmagomedov, Saeed has 6 guillotines, I think, 5 or 6. The guillotine's 7-1, right? The sub is 4-1, so that's nothing crazy here. The ninja choke is 50-1 odds on BetMGM, and I guarantee you it's going to be fucking 20-1 in 2 hours now that I said it. But I'm telling you right now, the ninja choke is 50-1 odds on BetMGM. Last time I bet something on BetMGM that was 50-1, it was the Walter Walker heel hook. He was coming off a heel hook win. The very next fight, they have the audacity to put it at 50-1. I bet it hit for 25 grand. Now we have Bryce Mitchell coming off of a ninja choke loss. And now they stick a 50-1 number on him to lose the same way. So am I crazy here? Because I don't think Saeed is even attempted. Maybe he's attempted one. He's never finished a fight by ninja choke. But it's not that different than – I mean, it is, but it isn't. It's a front choke, right? And we know Bryce is going to give it –
he does throw really, or does have really good front chokes. Like in every capacity, like that's typically his go-to.
Yeah. So here's what I think. I think I'm going to play that, and I'm going to play the guillotine because I don't see him getting any other sub. Maybe he'll get a Darce or Anaconda or some shit or an armbar. I don't know. But the guillotine 7-1.
He's got a nasty guillotine. See, I would play that if I had access to specifics. I don't even know where I can play specifics, but Jesus Christ, Matty, if that 50-1 ninja choke is, no book hates you more than MGM. Good Lord.
Now, here's the flip side of all of this. I think there's a world where Bryce just ragdolls him for 3 rounds. I think that's definitely possible at 135. But here's the problem is I don't trust Bryce Mitchell.
I don't
Like,
trust Bryce Mitchell at all.
I think
I especially do not trust him without seeing him on the scale at one.
I could literally make a video and explain to him, like, do not do this when you're shooting. Like first of all, if I'm Bryce Mitchell, like I'm literally getting in the clinch and like trying to like get trips and shit and then get top position. If you're shooting on this guy, single leg, double legs, putting your neck out there, you're literally an idiot. And that's what Bryce Mitchell could end up doing. Like, that's literally what he could end up doing. I could also see a world where he just strikes with this guy. You know, his striking, he believes is getting better. He's not fighting Josh Emmett. This guy's not knock you out cold. So, but you just don't know what Bryce Mitchell's going to do. And at the end of the day, I just want to feel like I'm betting value. And that ninja choke is insane to me. I can just see a single leg and then, I don't know, and then something happens. I don't know, but we'll see if I get there or not on it. Which side are you leaning on this one in general? Because
in general, I'm leaving Saeed. Our toxic trait together is we can't stay away from plus money, even if it's the dumbest thing in the world. Mm-hmm. Like, we like the value, and that is really it. And we just chase it. And if it loses, it loses. But when it hits, it's euphoric. But I look at this, and the reason why I'm not on Bryce in this position is for like a couple kind of things. I mean, technically, because you had just mentioned like Bryce's striking is getting better. I agree with that, but I still think that the striking edge would go to Saeed. I think that Bryce has to wrestle to win, but his drop down to 135, and I don't remember who produced this interview or who it was with, but I was watching one the other day when he was talking about why he dropped down to 135. And again, I want to see him on the scales before I bet on him. I don't trust Bryce Mitchell in any capacity though, like at all. So to get me to, you would have to pay me to bet on Bryce Mitchell confidently. I'd rather skip than do that.
I agree.
He had talked about the reason he wanted to drop weight classes was because he didn't like how physical John Silva was. Like, he felt it was too much. So in like a way, like, you take that out of context, you read between the lines, you want to fight smaller guys, less physical guys. Like, he got ragdolled by John Silva. If he's worried about physicality at this point, and I was actually talking to Jake before we went live, and I was like, Bryce has just been in a spin cycle the last year and a half. Mm-hmm. Two finishes, the Josh Emmett and John Silva, he saw God in. Like,
both of them. He literally, both of them. There's just memes and pictures of it. When he gets put away, he gets put away. Like, it's not a TKO. It's like he's gone.
It's not good. Like, that kid has been in a spin cycle, but then on top of
and
that,
the Victoria fight, same thing. It was like all three. Like, he's like flat on his back, looking up at God. Like, that's literally what it looks like in all three fights.
Exactly. And that's terrifying in this spot when he's up against somebody who also can get the takedowns on him, who also will have the striking edge here. And I think just so much has happened in the last year and a half to him and like against him. I mean, that is why I lean Saeed. I don't hate, I can't blame anybody for playing Bryce by decision, because if he wins, it's by decision. And that's, of course, like, but he'll have to grapple. Mm-hmm. But that being said, I think Saeed would win those scrambles if Bryce starts to gas late, because we haven't seen him late in a while. And if this goes late, Saeed rounds 2 and 3 sub is plus 800 on FanDuel right now. Wow. But I think that this weight cut might hurt Bryce, make him a little slower, make him a little sloppier, and that's why I think he gasses out and that late sub is live in that spot.
Yeah, for sure. I think Bryce is the better overall wrestler and grappler. I just think Saeed's just way slicker with his jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And it just takes one mistake. I definitely don't like Saeed's money line, truthfully. Like, I think I'm playing the sub or I'm staying away. And I think Bryce maybe by decision, depending on the price here.
Yeah.
Looks like. But it's just a weird fight. Maybe Bryce would look good at, because he's never been a big guy. Like, he's not really jacked or anything. Like, he's like, you know, it's like, it kind of makes sense for him to drop down to bantamweight, honestly. But I mean, Bryce by decision is plus 155. KO is 20-1.
I don't see Bryce putting away. I don't see Bryce finding the finish in this spot. I
Both
really
by submission are plus 425 each, which is interesting. You could literally I've heard a lot of people on the Bryce sub side, but he's not really a submission guy.
Yeah, no, he'll just grind you out.
Yeah, 100%. All right, final decision. It sounds like we're both on Saeed sub. The guillotine 7-1 as well, and then the ninja choke's 50-1. The anaconda's 40-1.
That's
the what other? The armbar I think is 10-1. I don't know. I was looking at all of them. All right, this is a great fight right here. Nikita Krylov versus Bogdan Guskov. The way I see this fight is it's literally either Nikita Krylov by submission or Bogdan is going to KO him on the feet, or it's just going to be a war and somehow hit the cards. But I think Bogdan's coming on. I kind of feel like he's a dark horse here. It's kind of an exciting guy. I'm so torn because I backed Nikita against Dominic Reyes and I was wrong. But I don't want to jump ship after that because
Right.
like this guy is so underrated. Like he's so good everywhere, but now he's coming
I
off
agree.
a KO loss and he got chinned badly in that fight. And now he's
still
fighting a guy with
Reyes, though. Like,
I know, but he's fighting another guy with big power, and it's right after that. And he's been in 40 professional fights. It's like, so it is scary. He's older than 32 in MMA years. Like he's 35 to 38 as far as I'm concerned. Like he's been through all the wars. I'm torn on this one. I could see like a Bogdan round 2 TKO or something, or Krylov is able to just expose the grappling early maybe. But I don't know if I trust him to try to like force this fight to the ground early enough.
Yeah, no, I'm on the Guskov by knockout side of things here. I think, again, this is one of those things where I'm looking at it like, okay, father time coming off of that long layoff. Because like we see this, and you had just mentioned everyone's jumping ship on Krylov because of the Dom Reyes side, or because of the Dom Reyes knockout. I was on Dom Reyes by knockout. And we were actually together at those fights, and we watched it live together. But so I had Dom Reyes by knockout because Krylov had that long layoff, those 2 years right before that, where he was out. I think it was a shoulder surgery, if I remember correctly. And I think because he overextends in his striking, having a shoulder surgery in general is just not a good look. And then taking the 2 years to recover from that, while it is important to take time off to rest and heal, coming back out, continuing to overextend after or like a procedure and recovery like that against somebody like Dom Reyes is just not satisfying to me. I think maybe 4 years ago, I would absolutely be on Krylov. But in this spot, I do agree. I think Guskov is more of the dark horse, and I think Guskov's the dark horse. But Krylov he kind of gets out grappled. He starts to get out struck, and at this point, and against Reyes, he looked a lot slower than what he typically did. And the reason why we still kind of look at him and go, oh, but he's still good, he's still well-rounded, is because the division itself is just not that great.
Yeah.
And that's where I really struggle with this. And I think that Guskov's power is real, and I think that he might not be as clean technically as Reyes was, but I think that he can hit just as hard, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Bogdan by decision is 14-1.
Are you serious?
14-1. I just looked at that. I was like, that is absolutely insane.
That's worth a sprinkle on no matter what you put on.
He's never won a decision, which is, obviously why the number's so high. But let's not forget that Krylov is historically very durable. I mean, he's only been put away twice out of 40 fights. So it's like, what if Guskov just outboxes him? What if Guskov just outboxes him and wins on the scorecards? That's 14-1.
Agreed.
I mean, it's always the fights that never going to go the distance that end up going the distance. So you guys can't say that the fight's not going to decision. I mean, obviously, there's a good chance it doesn't, but those odds are absolutely insane.
I agree. And I think that we just mentioned, like, oh, we don't actually know where his durability is at. Like, we don't – because, yeah, he got knocked out in his last fight after 2 years off, but it was also Dom Reyes. Like, you can't really judge a dude off of that.
Right.
IMO. But that being said, the mental state is actually what I'm more concerned about, typically because I always love to stalk fighters' social medias. I love to stalk their interviews and everything like that. Krylov looked a little out of it at the signings. He looked out of it in interviews this week. He didn't seem like his normal self. He didn't even look like he did at Miami. He was kind of just there to be there. But he also has not posted on social media, at least Instagram, since before the Reyes loss, like right up to it. So either he's coming back and he's like, I'm locked in, like I'm going to shock the world, or he's realizing like I am on the back end of my career. I am slowing down. So that makes me a little bit hesitant, but I like Guskov for the upset here. I really, really do. But he does have a killer be killed energy, which is terrifying. So either he starches Krylov or it gets dragged late, which sucks.
Another thing I want to look at is just that Krylov round 1 sub. Because there's a chance that the grappling's just way higher level. And
Guskov could fade too. So if he gets a little bit of control time early in round 1, that could be live.
Krylov round 1 subs plus 425. Guskov was literally put away by sub against Uzumir in round 1. I think he's improved a lot since then, just in general. But I don't know. Anything can happen in this fight. Final decision. I don't want to jump ship on Krylov. Everyone's on Guskov though.
Yeah,
I don't have a final pick yet, but I will soon. All right, we got to talk through this one. I feel very strongly about this fight, and I feel like the whole world's on the other side. So I want to hear what you think first. Asu Amabayev or Jose to get this one done. It's a very close. What's that odds at right now? Let me see the current odds. It is -125 favorite for Amabayev. What do you think?
I like Almabayev decision. In all honesty, I like Almabayev in this spot to begin with because I think his grappling is going to overwhelm Ochoa. I think that he hits takedowns like they're absolutely nothing. Like he's a very opportunistic grappler. I do not hold anything against him for losing to Manel Kopp on short notice when Manel Kopp is probably going to touch gold within the next year and a half or have the chance.
I had a future on him and he fucks it up every single time.
Like
he's out of fights and just literally had a future on him.
I can't blame him for that. So that's why I still like Amabayev, but I think he has very good control. It's rare that you get up from under him, and he has good chain wrestling. Like he's shooting like single legs into doubles, then he'll like get you up to the fence, and it's insane. I think I was looking at the stats, and he has 5 UFC fights. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it was like 50 takedowns in 5 UFC fights. Like what the fuck? And then when you look at it, Jose Ochoa just beat Cody Durden, right? Just beat Cody Durden by a knockout in what, round 2, like right at the beginning of it or whatever. Right. But in the first round, he gave up 1 minute and 42 seconds of control time to Cody Durden.
Yeah.
He got taken down twice and gave up 1 minute and 42 seconds to Cody Durden, who I personally love. I think Cody Durden's a great guy. I think he's a great fighter, but I do think he is on the back end here. I don't think the same of Almabayev. I think he's still on the up and up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that Ochoa is even going to come in with remotely close to the skill set and performance that like Kopp did against Almabayev. And that is why I'm citing Almabayev likely by decision. Jury's still out on the method, but.
Yeah, I agree. If you're going to go Almabayev, you have to go decision side here. He's not finishing Jose Ochoa, I don't think.
Plus, Ochoa was supposed to fight somebody else. Like he took this fight on short notice. So he's short notice. He wasn't training for it. Like in the I just think the grappling's going to overwhelm him. I do.
The problem I have with the fight is I think all the finishing upside is for Jose here. And I think this kid is special. I think everyone's on the Amabayev side. I'm going the other way here.
Why do you think he's so special? What's your vibe on him?
I love he pretty much went strike for strike with Loner Kavanaugh 2 fights ago. I still think Cody Durden's an underrated guy. I think that he's great forward pressure and good striking. And, he put him away. And let's not forget, what's his name? Joshua Van didn't even put Cody Durden away.
Yeah.
And Bruno Silva was getting put away before he was able to somehow catch Cody Durden with a big shot. I just rank Cody Durden higher than most people. I think he's very, very underrated.
That's fair.
And he got put away. And this kid is really good. I think he's going to get better every single fight. He's got good size for flyweight, good reach, good power. I could see this being one of those fights where, he gives up the control time, but Amabayev doesn't do shit with it. That's the thing. And if he doesn't do anything with the control time, like Jose can either win late or he can just win on the scorecards with damage. So I'm going the other way here, taking Jose, but I'm interested to see how this fight plays out because everyone else.
Let me pick your brain on this. So, Ochoa, when you were watching the tape, I'm sure we both kind of saw he loves his leg kicks. He loves kickboxing. But going up somebody that's a wrestler like Amabayev, you kind of have to take away the strikes landed by leg kicks. Because if you go to even Manel Kopp knew not to kick against him. He was hesitant to throw kicks against him because it's a wrestler. He's going to grab your legs. So that's the only reason that it makes me really nervous on Ochoa.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a much heavier boxing style approach here.
He'll have to.
I'm going to pick him apart. I mean, Almabayev is a small guy, man. He's 5'4". Just stay at bay and box this dude's face off. And I think he can do that for 3 rounds. And even if he goes up the thing is, I don't like guys that can get takedowns, but then on any finishing upside on the ground because
they don't do anything with
fight, and damage is supposed to win fights. And if I see Almabayev as a guy that's just going to literally be shooting the whole fight and not do anything with it, and I don't want to put my money down on that. I'd rather take the guy who's finishing upside and can do more damage on the scorecard. So,
are you going to take Ochoa are you just going to take the money line, or are you thinking by finish, inside the distance, or by decision? Yeah. What's your vibe?
It really depends on price. Jose by decisions plus 325, KOs plus 325, submissions 11-1. That's crazy. He does have an anaconda win in his career.
Don't bet the anaconda.
Now I got to check this shit.
Yeah, I'm looking at the stats right now, and Ochoa, like comparatively, if Almabayev had any sense to do more damage on the ground and let's throw more volume, he'd probably outpoint him with the control time combined, since Ochoa's absorbing more per minute. But you're right, he doesn't do anything with the takedowns. He just wins the minutes.
For sure. All right, we'll agree to disagree on this one, but let's move on to the next fight. Shara Magomedov versus Marc-Andre Barriault. These odds are insane, by the way, on the money line.
Agreed.
It comes down to this for me. Are we going Shara by decision or Shara by KO? That's the way I look at this fight. But I will say, because I don't look at Shara as a guy that got fraud checked. Like, I knew how good MVP was. That dude is a monster.
Yeah.
Like, there's no one I think he's legitimately the best striker in the UFC. He's the hardest guy to figure out on the feet. He's the hardest guy to hit on the feet, and he's got good power and great speed. I think he's genuinely the best striker in the UFC. I would put him over Poatan, Adesanya, all these guys. Now, other people have different attributes that are better within striking, like power, different things. But I'm telling you, as far as hitting someone and not getting hit, like, I think he's the best in the UFC. So I think that was just a very bad matchup for Shara. I don't think Marc-Andre Barriault's going to be able to give him any problems on the feet. Like, I think he's just going to try to blitz him and come forward, and he's probably going to run into something or walk into something. Yeah. And even if he is chasing him down, Magomedov's just going to be – he's going to be too fast. He's going to be moving around the octagon. He's got the home crowd advantage. I could see like a big knee or something crazy in this one. I think worst case scenario is he wins 30-27 on the scorecards. I think it's a very bad matchup for Barriault. What do you think?
And honestly, like, I agree but disagree, because I don't know what to do with Shara Bullet at minus 700.
Yeah, you can't take that.
That's like, you can't do it. Like, you don't even put in a parlay. Like, it's not going to be worth it. Like, because God forbid. But the thing is I look at this. He can't grapple and he needs distance. He likes fighting from a distance.
The decision's plus 250 for Magomedov. That's a crazy number.
But see, my problem is again, he really likes to fight at a distance. He needs to. He never fought anybody like Michael Page. And that makes sense. I mean, it's fucking Michael Page. Like, no wonder he got starched by him. Like, that's the reality of it. But he tends to get stuck on the cage, and he likes to be able to throw like his flashy kicks, but Marc-Andre will not give him the distance to do so. Marc-Andre loves the clinch. So if one guy is running around the cage,
that was the question. I don't know if he can get there.
Yeah, so like, I don't know. I mean, that's really why. Because like, I'm not playing him at minus 700 anyway, realistically speaking. But that's why I don't hate the Marc-Andre point spread. Because because it's plus money for sure. But if
I would be scared that he just loses every round, like even if he doesn't get finished, he just loses 30-27.
Well, because if Shara's like up against the cage like this, just getting knees in the clinch for majority of a round, I think Marc-Andre can cover a round. I'm not gonna sit here and say that I think he wins outright. Mm-hmm. I think that he can cover a round, but the fear in that is he really only knows how to like walk forward. And somebody was saying they're like, oh, him by like knockout because he's coming off of the knockout win over Bruno Silva. But Bruno Silva should have been out of the UFC fight to go. He was like mentally he needs to be checked on. I was very vocal that I was like, he should not be allowed to a fight in this fight. He said that he's terrified getting into the cage. Why is he fighting?
Yeah, that's fair.
So it doesn't surprise me at that point, but I think that his durability is slowly getting like chipped away. And I think that the UFC is sort of banking on the fact that he's at sort of the tail end of his career, but I do still think that he covers a round. That's all I need.
That's fair. I also deep down feel like this is just a setup fight, like a prop up fight for Shara in Abu Dhabi. Yeah. Like it's going to be like deep down in my gut, I'm like, this is a highlight KO coming because I want to get there on the value on the plus 250 by decision. But I'm like, he's just going to knock him out cold, isn't he? And I feel like that's what's going to happen. I think he's just too – Gilbert and Moicano even said on the podcast, like Gilbert's teammates with Marc-Andre, I'm pretty sure, right?
Really?
I think so. He's from Killcliff. I don't know. But, yeah, I think even Gilbert doesn't ever pick against his teammates. He was like, Shara's just too fast for him. You know, so if Gilbert's saying that, I mean, I don't know. So again, this comes down to me, Shara KO or Shara decision.
Shara's not physical enough for me. That's my problem with him. He fights at a distance. He sticks and moves. And I think Marc-Andre, even though he is old, father time comes for all of us. Like, he's chinny. The durability's fading. He's fading. He's more physical.
Mhm.
And that's really it.
All right, let's move on from that one. There's this. Well, is this the main event now?
This is the co-main.
I know the Jake did that. He must have fucked up. All right, we got the co-main.
Yeah, I messed up. That was me.
It's all good. We got the co-main event. This is an underrated card. The more we've gone through it, I'm like, it's actually a good card.
Yeah.
Like, I'm happy with this card a lot. Petr Yan versus Marcus McGee. I have no idea why this fight's happening, but I don't think any fans are mad about it. I think it's a banger of a fight. I was originally looking at Yan by decision here, but I swear to God, I feel like he's going to win in round 3 here. I have the craziest feeling that – because you know how Yan comes on like over time in fights.
Yeah, he builds.
Perhaps round 1 against Marcus McGee. Maybe McGee even lands something big in round 1. Then I think round 2 he just beats him up, and then I think round 3 McGee might be on his last leg. And then I think if you're like literally might be on his last leg if he starts chopping up the legs and then getting his boxing going. I kind of feel like Petr Yan round 3 at 12-1 is live here. Either that or just play the decision. But I think as the fight goes on, Yan's just going to show him levels here. So I think Yan is probably one of the best guys in UFC history to have that type of record, like at 18-5. Like, there's no way he should be 18-5. He should be like 21-2. Like spin robberies and just DQs and all sorts of shit that's happened to him in his career. I just think he's good everywhere. I think he could wrestle in this matchup if he wanted to. I think he's better everywhere, maybe outside of power. I don't know. So I'm going to go with Yan to win this fight by decision or in round 3. What do you think?
I really like Yan in this spot, admittedly. And as a fan, I was looking at this when it was first booked, and I was like, what? The same thought that you did, the same thought that a lot of us had. Why is this a fight? But then I kind of took a step back and I was like, okay, this is Marcus McGee's only, this is his one chance to kind of break into that like top tier level and like to prove that he does deserve a chance at gold. Because he's starting late, he's a little bit older, like obviously like an older prospect in this case. My fear here with Petr Yan and the decision is if this is a split decision, Petr Yan typically gives away the first round. Because you're right, he starts slow and then he picks up, gives away the first round, and Marcus will absolutely exploit that and take advantage of that. He comes in with some pressure, some volume. He's really good at sticking and moving, but also it has some really good combos, mixes in some stuff, and he's not afraid to level change and kind of mix in everything else off the feet too, which is great and why I really enjoy Marcus McGee in general. But so round 1 will probably end up going to Marcus. Round 2 is where it really, really pisses me off. Solely because that's when Petr Yan like decides like, oh, I have to get it together. I have to pick up. And that's when he starts moving a little bit more. But if Marcus McGee is kind of fueled by the fire of this is my only chance. This, like, I have to throw the volume. I have to this. And he has a great team. He's training out a great camp. Like, I think the MMA lab. And so the way that this is kind of working in Arizona, to my understanding, people training out of the MMA lab and people training out of Red Hawk are training together now, like in the last year in Arizona. So like you got Tim Welch with like buddied up with Randy Stein coaching these kids, and it's insane. And I think Kyler Phillips was the only one out of those gyms to lose, even in amateur and pro fights, which is what's crazy. So I think having the training, if this is a split decision, I think Marcus could absolutely steal the second round. I will say that this goes to decision. I don't think that Marcus is going to get put away by Yan. I just don't think Marcus has taken enough damage to be chinny enough or lack the durability for that. But that's more the way that I'm seeing it.
Yeah. I mean, I just look at what Petr Yan's done. Like, he just outstruck Davison Figueiredo 121-53. I mean, that's no joke. And then Sonya Dawn fight was kind of close, but I think Sonya Dawn's very high level. The Murat, we all know about the Sean O'Malley fight. To me, that was a fucking robbery. And then the Merab is Merab. Aljamain was DQ, and then whatever. He beat Corey Sandhagen. He's beaten Jose Aldo. I I can't doubt this guy. It's crazy he's still only 32 years old. So I'm going. Someone actually put in the chat, I really like it depending on the number, but Jan money line and the fight to start round 3. I kind of really like that.
I like that. I would absolutely tail that, in all honesty. I also, if you don't want to pick a side, if you think that this could possibly go the distance and you like Jan by decision, because he historically gives away the first round and then picks it up slowly, and McGee will absolutely exploit that. His point spread's going to be plus money. Like, I think it's sitting pretty high, which is good.
Yeah.
As long as you're not completely convinced on Jan by finish, I think you could play that too.
Yeah. We're on the same page.
Yeah, I might relay that up, but I don't love a side here to really be like, I'm so hot on this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, agreed. All right, now we're to the main event. All right, Robert Whittaker versus Reinier de Ritter. This, I'm very excited to see how this fight plays out. I actually think De Ritter can give Whittaker a lot of problems. This in a similar way that Dricus du Plessis did. I think they have a very similar come forward, aggressive style.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, Whittaker, we know how high level he is. He can move around in the octagon, and he can end up making it look easy, like he did last year in Abu Dhabi, wasn't it?
I think so.
I think it was in Abu Dhabi, yeah, and it was a round 1 KO, and he made it look easy against a guy that I was pretty high on too. With that said, Reinier de Ritter is 20-2. I kind of feel like this guy is continue to get disrespected. Yeah. And we're gonna find out here, like, what if he makes it look easier than the Bo Nickel fight? Then all of a sudden everyone's like, oh, Bo Nickel's really not that bad. Like, what if Reinier de Ritter comes out and finishes Robert Whittaker in the first round here? Like, then everyone's gonna say, oh, that Bo Nickel fight was just a jump too soon, and he's still gonna be fine. I'm high on Reinier de Ritter. I think he's the square side. Like, I think everyone's on him, and I get that, but the square side wins 45% of the time as well. And I don't like fading Robert Whittaker, but I think De Ritter. And you know what prop I'm looking at? You're going to call me crazy.
Oh, Lord.
Ritter by KO plus 700.
Okay, Matty, I hit De Ritter by knockout or technical knockout over Bo Nickel at plus 1,400.
Oh,
and I saw the plus 700 and I went, nope. Like, so yeah, I love you.
I don't think he can outbox him, obviously, but like, he can absolutely get this guy up against the cage, knees. The same thing he did to Bo Nickel, I think, is on the fence here of Robert Whittaker. And there's also ground and pound upside too. I mean, we saw what Dricus du Plessis was able to do with Robert Whittaker. He kind of just threw him to the ground. Then when they got back up, he just marched him down. I just think De Ritter has similar attributes there. You're not going to out-style or out-point Whittaker unless you're Adesanya. So it's like the way to beat him is to just out-aggressive him, come forward, not give a shit. Now, that said, he could walk into something if he does that. I like under 2.5 here for sure is my favorite play on the fight. I think either way, either guy can get a finish, and I'm going De Ritter by KO plus 700. And I'm going De Ritter round 2 finish. Finally.
If that hits, I am personally sending a bouquet of flowers to the Homa Fight headquarters.
Let's go. I think it's good.
That said, again, I had him I hit the plus 1,400. Everyone called me psychotic, and it was crazy. But given the context of why I picked that play over Bo Nickel, like, I don't think that Bo Nickel is a contender. I'm a Bo Nickel believer, but I don't think that he was a contender.
I think he needs to go down a weight class. I think he's not a big guy. Like, he needs to fight down a weight class. I think he could do very well.
Yeah, and I think like his strength is like Bo Nickel's strength was like obviously wrestling, and like everybody was saying like, oh, but his striking got so much better. He outstruck Paul Craig on the feet, but it was fucking Paul Craig on the feet first and foremost. But then like, he went up against a double champ and a submission grappler, so he couldn't rely on his wrestling in that spot. And why would he even want to give like De Ritter the chance to? So we knew it would stay on the feet. And it ended up cashing in my favor. But in all honesty, it's not because I had faith in Reinier de Ritter by knockout. It was because I had more faith in fading Bo Nickel in that spot in regards to what the game plan was. I knew it wouldn't go to the mat. So then what's the other possibility? Because I couldn't see De Ritter outpointing Bo Nickel to a decision. So that's why I took that plus 14.
Yeah, you would just have to out-grapple him, but you have to stay safe the whole fight, which is hard to see.
Yeah. And my fear, like with Bobby, is, and in this spot is, Ritter will have to try to grapple him. And I think that if he can't get the grappling going, which I don't know if he's going to be able against Bobby, it's just like he's really good at keeping guys below him in general. But if he can't get the grappling going, I think that by like rounds, like, because this is booked for 5 rounds, of course, right?
Yeah,
I assume, of course, yeah. I think that once it hits like rounds 3, 4, and 5, Ritter might get tired and almost look a little bit lost. And I think that once he hits that point, Bobby will show the levels here. And it pains me to say, because I'm such a big fan of Ritter. I love Rainer Ritter, but I am on Bobby in this spot, man.
Yeah. KO?
I haven't decided how or why, but I just think that the guys who bully him just absolutely bully him. And I don't know if Ritter is that.
What else is he though? If he's not that, he's 6'4". He's a monster. He's got knees. He's good everywhere.
I agree, but he would absolutely have to get the fight to the ground and control him. And I
know that he does that. I think he's just got to get him up against the cage.
You think he's gonna bolt? You think he's gonna do the same thing he did to Bo?
I think it's possible, honestly. And Whittaker's been in a lot. He's been in a lot of wars. He's been in a lot of wars to start. I feel like, I don't know. And I do feel like this is like a perfect new blood. Like, could you imagine a Ritter Dricus du Plessis matchup? I think that's.
I wish. Oh man, that would be
one. This guy could be the next big thing at middleweight, I think.
Well, you know what's funny is I was watching, or I got back from dinner the other night, and I was just like, you know what fight I want to rewatch was Yoel Romero versus Paulo Costa. Rainer Ritter and DDP, if they ever fought, it would, I'm not joking, just be a repeat of that. Like one of the funnest, just entertaining, craziest, goofiest fights.
Well, imagine Hamzat, like.
I don't know. I agree with Rainer Ritter, and honestly, this is one of the fights that I actually wrote down, like, I might switch up in the betting article. Like, I actually put, like, in all honesty, I might switch up and go Rainer Ritter by the end of the week, because he is the exact kind of skill set that historically had given Raw problems, like the size, the pressure, and the elite grappling. So I'm not hating on anyone that is on Ritter, for sure. Mm-hmm. I think I just have to ride with Bobby Knuckles, though.
Fair enough. It's a tough one. I'm excited to see this fight. I think it's going to be the best fight of the night. And there's some really good fights on the main card here. So why don't we finish up? Let's build a 2-leg parlay. Basically what we normally do is, it doesn't have to be crazy odds, but like we both try to pick like a decent plus money leg. It can be anything on the prelims or the main card. Is there anything right now that sticks out to you?
Hang on. I want to go into FanDuel and see what Carlos Leal is rounds 1 and 2, because I think you're on 2, I'm on 1, and if that's plus money, I adore that.
Yeah, I can't get that in Florida, but we can make it work. Well, I can see it, but I can't physically bet it.
Oh, you can get onto it. I feel like every time I'm at the house down there, I actually can't log into the app. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I'm in Florida, so I can't bet on FanDuel, but
yeah,
just Hard Rock and some other sites, and then I have people in different places that help me.
You have people in high places that help you out. He's got friends in high and low places, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if we double chance it live. Carlos Leal in rounds 1 or 2 is plus 120. It's not great, but it is plus money.
Yeah.
That's a potential.
We can do it. I like a little more aggressive. Like
yeah, I agree.
Let's try to cook up something that pays the people.
Let's see here. We're on opposite sides for a lot of this.
We are on a lot of opposites for sure, but that's fine. Go pick a leg that you like. Don't worry about me. I'll pick a leg that I like too. Chat, feel free to chime in here. Tell us what you guys like in the comments. This is actually tough, but I think we're both on the Saeed submission side, right?
Yeah, I'm down for that
for sure. So let's go Saeed by sub plus 425 is one leg.
I can't believe that's plus 425. Oh, are you on Hard Rock right now?
Yeah.
Lucky. On DraftKings in Arizona, it's plus 350. That's disgusting. Whatever. Peter Yan fight, but it could go Yan. No, it's just a terrible number.
We're on the opposite in the main event.
I'm upset fucking everywhere, Matty.
In the Almabayev fight, Krylov Guskov's kind of yeah, this is tough for this
This
thing.
is actually really rough. Fuck it, I'm looking at
People want
takedowns.
Guskov KO. That's what they're asking for.
Guskov KO. I love the Guskov KO. I think it was plus 160.
Do you want to ride that one? Guskov by KO plus 260. That would make this parlay plus 1790.
Okay, 2-leg long shot. Wait.
That's 18-1. Saeed by submission, Guskov by KO. 100 would pay almost $2,000. 100 would pay 1,900. What do you guys think, chat? Let me put this in here. Saeed by sub, Guskov by KO, plus 1790. What do you guys think? That's it right there. 100 would pay $1,890 total payout. What do you guys think of that? Let's hear it in the comments. Yo, this is crazy because I was looking at this. Carlos Leal by sub. It's 11-1.
That's insane. Imagine. That's one of those things that would happen in 2025. MMA betting has been fucking insane lately.
Yeah. Bryce is not getting sub by Saeed. Saeed round 1, Guskov round 2. Interesting. Saeed gets a decision win, not a sub. Interesting. That sounds nice. All right, let's roll with it, Corey.
I like that. I like it. I'll take it.
Let's do it. All right. That's the show, guys. I will be back tomorrow night with Hejai for the long shots only. I'm sure Corey will be there, making an appearance tomorrow as well. And thank you, guys, everyone, for tuning in. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you, Corey.
Bye, guys.